everybody, welcome back to my channel. We're doing this podcast style today because I am stranded with absolutely no filming equipment whatsoever. Hope you don't mind. But anyway, today we're talking about the season 3 premiere of Steven Universe. It was labeled In Too Deep, and it consisted of 2 episodes, Super Watermelon Island and Gem Drill. Now, both of these episodes were really good. They looked spectacular. The animation was absolutely beautiful. But I will say that I found the end of the cluster arc just a tiny bit anticlimactic. Like, there was a ton of build up and then nothing really happened. It all kind of resolved itself pretty quickly, but that's okay considering what Steven Universe is all about and considering the fight that was in the previous episode with Alexandrite versus Malachite. It all kind of balances out, but still, tad bit anticlimactic in my opinion. As I already said, the animation was the most beautiful part of these episodes. I particularly love the part in the watermelon community because when you have a society built mainly of just one thing, it's really hard to get variety in there. And any shot where you look at the watermelon people in a group setting, you can see that they all have slightly different expressions, which is really nice. And it's such a great touch that they didn't have to do. I love that we're discovering and exploring Steven's dream powers and also his empathy powers. It was nice to see sort of like not really a concrete explanation, but just a further exploration that yes, he can indeed do this. It's not just like a fluke. He can actually subconsciously get into people's dreams or something like that. Also, Malachite in general, it's great to see her. The musical score was amazing for these 2 episodes. Like every time Malachite showed up, it was like this deep, ominous music. And when they're drilling down into the center of the earth, it's the same sort of scary feeling to it, like this horror movie, something bad's gonna happen, unsettling soundtrack. It was really nice. It was super cool to see Alexandrite's fusion dance, and she was incredible. Like, we haven't really gotten to see her fight yet, so it was really cool to see her using all of the combination weapons. And I loved that callback to Giant Woman at the end with the arrow. It was super spectacular. And it's so cool that we have Lapis now. I know that most of this episode leaked. And I have been avoiding those leaks like the plague, and I'm really glad that I did because I don't think that I would have been nearly as excited as I was if I had known all of this was going to go down. I also just really loved seeing the lapis lazuli waterbendy sort of fighting style again because we only really got to see it in a couple of episodes. So it's really nice to see it again, but with more like oomph to it. I love Steven and Peridot in the drill. It was a very important character piece for both of them, I think. And I really enjoyed the fact that it was them two going against the big bad in all of this because they're very opposite in many ways. Like Peridot thinks very logically and Steven thinks very emotionally. And it's just really nice to see them going toe to toe, but also being on the same side. They come from completely different worlds, and yet they've bonded in this nice way, and it's so very sweet. And I loved how Peridot was like, I don't have any memories of when I was formed, I just have feelings. It's sort of weird to not know where you came from, and that's something that Steven can very much relate to. And it was just such a really nice touch to this episode that really humanized Peridot a lot for me. And their relationship has just grown stronger and stronger. And the more that I think about it, I feel like the first gem that Steven is going to fuse with, it's got to be Peridot because they do have such this strong bond, this sort of fish out of water feeling to both of them. And they've really connected over it, you can tell. And it's super, super sweet. And I love it a lot. I also really love the visual representation of what Steven is feeling when they're hurting the cluster. Like the skulls just like screaming and popping out, and then when he's just like floating in this abyss and everything just wants to form. And it's just a really good visual representation. Lots of good subtext in here. But that being said, I feel like for a story arc that has lasted maybe 20 or 30 episodes, I feel like it's kind of annoying that they went down and they built this up as being this really big, bad, scary thing that was going to destroy the Earth. And Steven just talked to it. And I mean, it makes sense for the character because Steven's whole thing is like love everybody, try to solve things without violence if you can. But I was just expecting more of a fight. That being said, I know that the cluster is not going to be gone for good, obviously, because now that it's bubbled, it's a character. You know, we can go down and explore the cluster in more details whenever we need to. And moving forward, the focus of this is going to shift more to Lapis Lazuli, which I know a lot of people are excited about. I'm excited about it as well. Overall, I thought these episodes were really good. Not really my favorite episodes of the series, but it's so great to have Steven Universe back again. So please feel free to let me know what you thought in the comments below. I'm sure you all loved it. As always, thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, and all that jazz, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.